I think I had to overcome the past, for one thing, having a bad experience with another company. So I was independent, I was on my island, nobody's gonna tell me what to do, like what you said, Tricia. And then really it's ego. I think that's, you know, and I don't wanna tell you that, you gotta be careful how you deliver that message because it can be offensive, but when you break it down, broker owners, like, that's their identity. My identity was my company, I was proud of that. And I had ownership of that, like that was my thing. And so it was hard for me to think about, I'm rolling into another company. I'm losing my identity, I'm losing my ownership. Now I won't be able to sell, like all these things that I've been working up to for the years, you know, it just kind of was weighing on, I don't know if this is right for me. But then really when I took a step back, I still own a company. I run a large team. I have an LLC as a company. It is a company within a company. So I just had to resolve that within myself. So I think practicing those conversations are critical because you do need to broach that because they're not going to tell you that, but that's exactly what they're feeling inside, is they're giving something up. The loss of their identity is what they had to deal with. So there was that, and then also just, I'm sorry, what was the last part of the question, Chuck?
Now you're going to make me look for the question.
Yes, keeping you engaged.
But what was the largest hurdle of
hurdle.
mindset you had to come to make that move?
Yeah, for me it wasn't that big of a hurdle once I resolved in myself that I wasn't giving something up. But then it was going to be going back into growth patterns again. And I honestly thought it was a better option for my agent, so I wasn't afraid, and although I did lose a couple, honestly, when I broke it down, I had a couple different coaches, and one time the coach said to me when we were talking about recruiting, and I'm like, well, I need to really dial in my value proposition, and he said, you're the value proposition. And I was like, but I don't want to be the value proposition forever, because that's a lot of little birds chirping at me all the time, needing something, you know? So I really felt like if I didn't make this move, then I was holding something back from my agents for my selfish self. That's what I came to, because I didn't necessarily want to. We were running a great business, we were fine, but I was also running in different directions. We were opening up mortgage divisions, you know, we have title, we were doing all kinds of things, and I wasn't there as often. So then the liability piece of it started to weigh on me, because now I have managers, other people that were giving my agents direction and instructions and answers, but yet my name's on the dotted line of a lawsuit if that's wrong information. So all of that kind of started to play in, and I just thought, I don't really have a choice but to figure out how to make this work, because if I don't, each one of these agents will eventually leave. And like somebody said earlier, when you lose one of your biggest producers, that knocks a hole in your P&L for a very long time.
It really makes